Greg Williams.
Yeah, what struck you?
You know, my first impression was he was a no-nonsense, you know, cutthroat guy, and you kind of need that as a D coordinator on the defensive side of the ball. You want a no-nonsense coach. And, you know, as we started building a relationship, I know it's a guy who really wants to understand his players, understand how they operate, how they tick, what makes them tick, how they play ball, and you know, he really puts a lot of trust in us, in the players. And you know, I've learned that it's okay to go out there and not be worried about mistakes playing with Greg. Just go out there, you play hard, and if it's a right mistake, something you saw or you thought you saw, then hey, we can live with that. We can keep playing.
How long do you think he took to change the mentality of the Saints defense in that regard?
You know, it didn't take him long. The biggest thing
Camps?
was that I'd say before camp. I'd say maybe during OTAs, and that was really because we had a bunch of guys, a bunch of players that wanted to get better. We all wanted to, you know, strive to be the best, and we just need a little. I just call it guidance. Need a little guidance on where we were going and how good we could be.
John, is there
Did
any
you feel as if he could really take what was there and work with it and stress turnovers, and aggressive and blitzing, and all those things, and make as big a stride as he has obviously made?
Definitely. It was a situation where we understood that, look, we need to do whatever we can to get our offensive ball back. You know, better third down percentage, turnovers, getting stops, forcing fumbles. And, you know, he came in and said, okay, if you want to do that, this is how we're going to do it. And we've really been really harping on the turnovers and third down, and, you know, we've been reaping the rewards since.
John, is there any two players more excited to be here in South Florida than you or Jeremy?
Any two players
More excited for the team?
You know, right now it's exciting, but it's funny that I got down here and I don't really feel like I'm home. I feel like I'm on a business trip. And, you know, that's the approach I'm taking right now, and that's the mentality I have right now. You know, it's really about getting the film broken down, understanding my opponent, and getting ready for this game on Sunday. And you know, it doesn't really feel like you know, relax. I'm in Miami. You know, South Beach, the whole nine. It's really about getting this film work done and getting this game done.
But John, what does it mean to be, for your first Super Bowl, to be playing in here, though? Where
you know, it's special,
success?
but at the same time, I'm not really thinking about that right now. You know, this is not the time to sit back and reminisce or sit back and reflect on the season. Right now, this is time to hunker down and get this game going. And you know, after the game, win, lose, or draw, I get a little off time, and we're into the off season. That'll be time to sit back, reflect on the season and the accomplishments.
Is this what you envisioned when you got traded to the Jets? That
Yes.
the franchise would be where it is, and what made you confident that that would happen?
Well, you know, the first thing is we had number 9, Drew Brees, and you know, it's hard to find a good quarterback in this league. You find guys that may have 1 or 2 good years, but you know, find a guy like Drew, they don't come. They're few and far in the league, and to have an opportunity to be traded here with the situation as it was 2 years ago, I felt like this was the best situation, and I knew and we knew as the Saints that we were real close to being in this position last year, and we had to just correct a few things, and we got that done.
With all that being said, I know it's a business trip, and I'm sure you have to bug a couple people to get some Super Bowl tickets for friends and family that are here. No.
No. Fortunately, I have not. I have a very understanding family, and they understand the importance and the magnitude of this game, and the importance of blocking out distractions. And, you know, as much as I would like to sit here and worry about tickets and inviting everybody, that's just another distraction for me right now. So, you know, I was able to get my family. My family's good. And I'm good.
Speaking of distractions, we all know that you're Haitian American. Talk about, the Dome Man T-shirts that you're gonna, donate to the.
The Dome Man T-shirts. That was it was originally going to be, just something for the defense, for New Orleans, just for the playoffs, and unfortunately the earthquake hit in Haiti, and what better way for me to give my time, give my money right now, the best I can, was to donate the proceeds to the Haiti relief effort.
Jonathan, with you and Jeremy here, what does it say about the continued representation that the University of Miami has in this big game?
It's great for the University of Miami. It's great for us. Words can't describe how excited not only myself, Jeremy Shockey, UM alum, everybody, from seeing Michael Irvin yesterday to seeing Ray Lewis on the sideline, John Beeson on the sideline, all the guys, and they were just hoping and cheering me on, hoping that I win. And of course, we got Reggie Wayne on the other side, but once the game starts, we're not worrying about that. But it's good. It's good that we can represent University of Miami in a positive way.
How much
Could
different?
you revisit the circumstances that led into the trade and your injury, or was it a mutual thing, or did you request to go, or did they just tell you it was there?
That's in the past. I mean, right now I'm focused on the Super Bowl, focused on this position right now, where I'm at right now. So no point reminiscing on the past.
How much?
What kind of impact do you think you'll have on the game if Dwight Freeney, a player of that caliber, cannot start?
Well, that's something that I know Drew will be concerned about. I know that Dwight Freeney is a superb player, defensive end. So, with him not playing, I don't know if they switched too much on their defense. I can't really tell you that, but I know that that'll be a big player that they miss.
John, was there any particular game this year, and I'm thinking of maybe week 4 when you beat the Jets, where the defense knew you had something special coming together?
I would say before that, I think it was week 3 against Buffalo. We went up to Buffalo. They had a pretty hot start, and we were able to hold them to 7 points, actually a shutout on defense, and we gave up a special teams touchdown. And, we felt like if we can get into games like that where, offense was struggling a little bit in the beginning and then we blew them out at the end, but to be able to say, well, the defense was, part of the reason that we won this game, and for us, we never had a situation like that the year before. It was always high-scoring games, and for us to go out there and perform the way we did that week, we felt like we had something special.
How did the D feel about the perception, fair or unfair, that the unit was the Achilles and holding the offense back?
You look at it, most of the people, the first thing they're going to look at is the stats, and they're going to say, well, offense is number 1, defense is 21, or offense number 1 in rushing, defense 31 in rushing, whatever it is. And you look at that, and then it's just natural for people to place blame on whatever is not right. And we're 8-8, and they're going to say, well, if offense is 1, then obviously it has to be the defense. And that's what it was. So we were fine with that. You take that, you just take it in stride. We use that as a little bit of fuel and motivation, and we've just been trying to play lights out defense since then.
John, how much of a chess game do you expect to play with Peyton Manning, considering he makes so many audibles and adjustments at the line of scrimmage, and how much of it is on your shoulders as the guy who makes the defensive checks?
Well, it's I don't want to get enamored with what Peyton does. Obviously, he makes great checks, he makes great reads, he understands the defense, but I don't want to be in a situation where there's 5 seconds on the play clock, and he just made a check, and I'm trying to make a check to get us into a right defense, and then he's hiking the ball, and now I have half my defense doing the right thing, the other half doing the wrong thing, and we're better off all playing one defense, and whether we're all right or wrong, we'll fix it. We'll just get to the ball, tackle them, and then live for the next play.
Jonathan, everybody keeps talking about the passing game. Do you think the running game will be a factor also in this ball game on Sunday?
It definitely could be a factor, especially with Joseph Adai, and they have a couple other backs that are very good. I know they drafted one in the first round, so they have very capable backs. They're first round backs. That means they have talent, they have ability. But at the same time, we don't want to make that another problem for us to deal with. It's hard enough dealing with Peyton.
When you've always been a very cerebral player, when you go against a guy like a Manning, does it require extra film breakdown like you were talking about before, or how much of a challenge is that for you, or like a pride thing going against a guy?
It does require a little bit extra, and I don't want to get out of my routine, knowing that I'm going against Peyton Manning, but there are little things I had to start looking at, breaking down, and it's always that big thing, the game within the game, and he does a great job of playing that part, the game within the game, and that's up to me to try to do whatever I can to get a little extra edge on him. But at the same time, I can't be out there thinking. I can't think the way he thinks, because he knows what he's going to do. He knows where he wants to go with the ball, and a lot of my defense is to react and see him react and process what I see.
What would you say
this question, but we kind of talked about this yesterday. You're back home in the Miami area. What does it mean to you to be back here?
It means a lot. It's great. It's a perfect setting for myself. Pro Bowl in Miami, Super Bowl in Miami, you know, having been at the University of Miami. But, you know, I told one of the other reporters that this is really a business trip right now. It doesn't feel like I'm back home necessarily relaxing at my house or anything like that. It's really about, you know, watching